Have you ever had anybody say, "I didn't like the tone of your email"? And you say, what does that exactly mean? Because I didn't speak it. You read it that way. People can read tones and they can read your emotions in emails. Yes, they can. So we need to ensure that we are using the right language and the right tonality in the language that we do use in emails. I'm the past CEO of a Bayside and Melbourne franchise group where I tripled its size. And I was one of those people that, when we're doing emails and so forth, I was always busy and I'm a high D personality. So it's like, give me the facts and I'll do a quick response and off I go on the email. And I remember doing some very short, sharp emails this one time. And next minute I get a phone call. I said, "Warren." I said, "Yes." I said, "Are you in a shitty mood or have I done something wrong?" I said, "What are you on about?" "Well, that last email you sent back, it was extremely short and you said that it's done and you've got it under control." I said, "Yeah, well, I have." "But you're not shitty with me." "No, I'm not. But I am now if you keep questioning me." But it was in that moment that I realized I needed to change my communication style over the email. Now, get me in a one-on-one scenario and get me on the telephone. I love communicating like that. But when it's in an email, I like to get to the point. However, that doesn't work for everybody. So when you are responding to somebody and you may have, for instance, communicated on the phone, or you are following up with an email in regards to a customer complaint or whatever it may be, make sure you are analysing their personality when you are listening to them. Write down some key notes in regards to the type of words they use. How verbose or how much words do they use when they are explaining something? Is it short, sharp and succinct? Or do they like going into a lot of detail? Or do they use colourful language? Yes, this is how you take your communication from here to the next level in emails. So your volume and tone will be read into your emails. And only you have the ability to make sure that you connect with your audience, yes, your audience who are reading your emails, and that you're connecting with them on their level, not yours, because it's not about you, it's about them. You can only do this when you really pay attention in the communication process, especially when you're speaking over the phone to them and then you're following up with email. By the way, it's the best way you should be able to handle complaints. Now, I'll do a whole nother video on how to manage those disgruntled customers and how to handle complaints. But when you are following up with an email after a phone call, and by the way, we just don't do the email trail back and forth. We pick up the phone and we speak to people. It's the best way to understand who they are, how they're feeling, what are their emotions, and how can we best service their needs rather than doing it on email. Sorry, long-winded sentence. Hope you're getting the point. But once you're responding on the email, make sure you're using their language. Make sure you're answering the question in the way that they want to hear it, not through your communication style, through their communication style. So if they are short and sharp, and they're to the point, and they're quite abrupt, you don't have to be abrupt, but you can be shorter in your style of writing when you're sending an email. If they use lots of fluffy language and describe all sorts of things and the neighbourhood and what's going on with the house and all these, and they use all this colourful language, don't be short and sharp, because they will think that you disrespect them. They won't believe that you've listened to them, and they will build up a barrier in regards to the communication with you without even really telling you, because they'll see or hear and feel that through your tone in your email. So how do you fix this? How do you make sure that you are 100% focused on this individual? Well, we've already talked about that in a previous video. If you haven't watched it, go back and watch it, because we need to pay attention. We need to listen. We need to focus. We need to get rid of our distractions and make sure that that customer feels like they're the most important person in the world when you are dealing with them, when you are speaking with them. And what happens then? You're in a position to effectively communicate with them, to communicate on their level and solve the problem a lot quicker. Now, who doesn't want to solve issues in a lot shorter time frame? Be more efficient. So by mastering your communication, you can save time. If you don't change and you keep communicating the way you are, things won't change. What some of the pain and some of the suffering that you're going through with some of the complaints or some of the customers that you're dealing with will remain the same. You need to change your mindset and master your communication. Communication is critical, but we need to step out from our standard, the way we communicate on a standard format, and we need to change and adapt our methodologies, our communication strategies to match our clients all the time, whether it be verbally or especially over the email. So guys, give this a go. Give this a go. Just step out of your comfort zone and start to really master your communication skills, especially via the email. In fact, send an email off to perhaps an internal stakeholder, somebody who you just want to say, hey, I really admire what you've done, or I admire what you're doing from a customer service point of view. And try and use their language and their way of communication and watch the response. Watch the response. It's not just a, hey, great job on that deal with Mr. and Mrs. Jones. Great. No. Use their language, appeal to their way of communicating, and watch the response that you get. This will help. Thanks for watching. My name is Warren Tate and I'm a communication and presentation coach. And you know and I know that communication really can change your destination. So do some work on this, make the changes you need to make, and watch the difference. Thanks for watching.